And we're live. Welcome to
We
the.
are?
Yes, we don't do it in the Hangouts. I'm doing it through OBS, so
Okay.
it'll be like more delayed than your average Hangout. But yeah, we've definitely started. Hello,
I
everyone.
fucking hate using. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
No,
tell us how much you hate using OBS.
I hate using encoders.
I've got used to it now. That's sort of why I went for this instead of the usual Hangouts because I've forgotten how to do not normal Hangouts. I've only ever done one on this channel, but I've already moved on to fancy technology. Look at this backdrop, folks. Fucking look at it. Hey, I spent
Amazing.
all of like half an hour on that shit.
Amazing.
But yeah.
I like the comments. I like the comments in the video. That encourages people to comment more. When they know that it's going to remain.
Yeah, and it means you don't have to read out super chats because they're already. Oh shit! I forgot to enable super chats. Oh well. if you want to pay me money to say a sentence, go to my fucking Patreon. I invented this system before YouTube did, motherfuckers.
And I have to say that I'm shocked and appalled that someone used Goodfellas Twitter to just, bring two communities together. And I must say that I
Shocking.
love kebab. Yeah, we call it shawarma, but I love kebab.
Shocking. I mean, I was actually going to ask you, Skeptorr, what's the first thing you think when you hear Palestinian with a knife? Because I think chef.
I cook.
Yes,
yeah.
a chef. Obviously, what else could it be?
The Palestinian cooks we have here.
I have no idea who that could have been.
Obviously, I'm thinking about him cutting Arabs. It's something we call Arab salad, where you cut tomatoes and cucumbers and onions and mix them all together. That's me. That's me,
I wonder what happens if you're on like Pakistani Twitter and you say, "Where's a gay pride parade when you need one?" You'll get arrested as well, won't you?
For a different reason, aye.
We're getting there, aren't we? I mean, if someone else tweets on your account.
How can you be so careless with your Twitter account?
Well, the thing is, right, the issue here...
How are you letting people use your Twitter account?
Well, the issue here is, right, first of all, I've always got my computer on and my Twitter's always open, but it auto signs in as well, right? Plus the fact that my house is like Grand Central Station half the time. There's loads of people in and out of here. It could be anybody,
And you know how you sit in a cafe and someone can just pickpocket you, take your stuff,
That's
and
right.
you're not looking. Your phone is on the table. You're distracted by a beautiful woman crossing the street, or by the gay parade, or by a doner kebab truck, and somebody just takes your. He sees the doner kebab truck. He grabs your phone and makes it tweet.
It's easy. It's easy done. Very easily done.
Yes, I agree. But I have to say that, the end of that video was a bit shocking. I felt bad. I seriously felt bad.
It's just it's very strange times we live in. I mean, I always defend the police, but this is clearly the law not working properly. There's something very wrong when a tweet that has many different contexts, someone can be... Even the fact that the police even turned up at my door is very, very strange to me. But you see the guy that made the complaint? What I found out was that he didn't call the police. He actually went to the police station. I mean, that's more effort than phoning the police. He went to the police station to make the complaint. I mean, that is awful.
Well,
you guys could be next, by the way. You guys could be next very easily.
Not here.
Well. I hope not. I hope not.
Maybe maybe if I'll visit Glasgow.
Doctor could be next because it is in Britain, and they're trying to get these hate crime laws statistics up, so they're doing what they can to get them up. Awful. I mean, I'm against hate crimes. I'm against the idea of a gay guy being beaten up or killed because he's gay, or a black guy being beaten up because he's black, or a white guy because he's white. You know, I'm completely against that. But when you then say, well, a tweet is a hate crime, you're just turning it into a laughing stock, and I can't take hate crime seriously from this point on. I just can't.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of violence it encouraged when that person tweeted on your account. Where's a Muslim with a truck when you need one? Did you think a Muslim was watching that and they thought?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're giving some Muslim with a doner kebab truck an idea to go and sell some kebab.
The only conclusion I can come to is as I mentioned, the director of Gay Pride Scotland or whatever it is, and the Glasgow police have a very low opinion of Muslims because they think a Muslim with a truck is, obviously a bad person, and I don't think that. So I don't know why they think that.
And would be encouraged to do violence to gays just from watching a tweet. I mean,
that's how easily manipulated they are. It's a very low opinion to have of a whole demographic. And the thing is, as well, the worrying thing is that I don't mean worrying in a bad way. I mean from the police's point of view, that there's a lot of Muslims here. So if I was a Muslim, I would be very concerned that that's what the police thought of me.
There's a lot of Hebrew in the comment section. People that I met yesterday on the comment section, especially Tigra Morgan, who was on a stream I did last night in Hebrew on my Israeli channel. And over there, she wrote in English, and now she's writing in Hebrew. Him or her, I don't really know. Tigra, how do you identify yourself?
Jay Ray is saying, so no one objects to the very idea of hate crime. Well, I do. I mean, I've stated this before. To me, there's no such thing as hate crime or hate speech. But because officially it's a law, I think it's ridiculous, but it's officially a law. And the way the law stands, I'm against the very idea of people being attacked because of the demographic they're in. But I'm not against the idea of people being mocked or whatever on a tweet because of the demographic. I think that should be acceptable. And I don't think the police should be knocking on anyone's door for that.
Like I've said before, I'm not sure if hate crime should be a thing, but it certainly shouldn't be a thing until you've established, beyond reasonable doubt, the intentions of the alleged perpetrator. Like if you say,
absolutely.
Like if you say, why did you punch this Muslim in the face, and they say because I hate Muslims, then you've got a case. If they say because they spilt my drink, then that's not a hate crime.
Well, I think they would have had more of a case if the tweet had said, where's a terrorist with a bomb when you need one? I think they would have had more of a case there because a terrorist with a bomb, there's no other context there. It's very clear, but to say Muslim with a truck and then to presume that's a terrorist, that's the eye of the beholder. That's on them. That's not on the person who wrote the tweet, whoever it was,
And the sinister thing is, they would have had a case if you decided, I don't need a lawyer.
Oh, definitely.
I'll just talk to these policemen and I'll just say things to them.
Exactly.
They'll just quietly interview me until I happen to say something incriminating.
And I think that's one of the things. On a Friday night, right, they probably thought I would have had a few drinks, right? And they probably thought I would have been a bit confident that I haven't done anything wrong. I don't need a lawyer, fine. And try to make my case to the police. But that would have just made matters worse. And I've actually got people in my comment section saying that to me. Oh, that's weak that you didn't admit to it. Oh, right. What I should do is I should just admit to the police that I did something wrong. What a great fucking idea. I mean, come on. Yeah, they're actually expecting me to admit that I did something wrong to the police. Well, I'm not that stupid.
Yeah, don't give them an inch, man.
Oh no, not a chance, man.
Their job is to get people from that side of the fucking prison to the other, to some degree.
Well, Accent Overlords 2049. Did I fell unconscious and woke up like
yes, you were in a coma.
I was in a coma for 25 years. 22.
I was trying to think of a way to make it a sequel, and I thought, well, Blade Runner's in vogue at the moment. And maybe that'll be the time we stop streaming, like GMT.
Possibly.
Well, it's 9 10 p.m. here.
It's only 7:10 here, so we got an
Yeah.
hour and 39 minutes until the funny time to stop streaming occurs.
Yeah. You know that finally the red pill made the news in Israel, and they're going to put the film on the documentary channel.
Awesome.
Yeah, but of course, the woman who wrote the column in one of the biggest newspapers in Israel fucked up all the names. First of all, she called Cassie Casey, Paul Ilem. I don't know why. And she wrote that the men's rights movement is the MRA, which is a common mistake.
Yeah, it's petty at this point to keep hammering that joke. The entire MRA.
Yeah, I remember John the Other taking the piss because of this.
It says here that they're saying in the chat, tell Mike to fix his microphone
Yeah,
level.
I
and frozen
tried-
chat. I don't know. I can hear you perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's different through OBS. I think I changed the thing now. Is it slightly better now, chat? And I'll see what's happened with the frozen chat. I don't know why that's happened. No.
Cujo Painting is asking me. Hang on, let me scroll up. If you were to have been convicted of that hate crime, do you think there'd be a danger they would take your kid away? No, because he's got other people he can live with. I think they would only take the kid away if there's no other options. You know, I think they would he'd stay with his gran or something like that. You know, before they had to take him away.
What would have happened if he was with you at the time? If come to jail and I don't know, find something to do with the kid.
A little bit better because then he wouldn't worry for like 24 hours and going nuts.
Yes. But I suppose they wouldn't really have been able to stop me from phoning, you know, a contact to come and pick him up. I wouldn't let them take him. I'd just be, no, you're going to have to fucking wait. You know, you're pushing your luck here, you know. That was me. I would just have phoned a contact to come and pick him up. But it was just lucky that on a Friday night is the night he goes to his gran's. You know, that was just fortunate, you know. That was the same night that and my lawyer told me as well, by the way. Again, this is what I mean about I defend the police a lot, but I'm put off doing that now because my lawyer told me that they deliberately come on a Friday night so that they can keep you in all weekend, and it's just that is just so out of line in my opinion. You know, so wrong.
Sargon, why take a man to prison for trying to bring two communities together? I mean, that's
I know, especially two communities that are very rarely together. You know,
gays need more kebabs in their lives, man.
This is what we call multiculturalism, and that's how we do it.
And then when you try to promote multiculturalism, or when someone else tries to on your account, the police come to your door. Unbelievable.
Yeah, really, it really pissed me off. And finally, you're doing something for the community, good fella, and not you, of course. Someone using your phone.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. I'm not. No, it was from my IP address. So if it was from my phone, it would have to have been from my Wi-Fi.
I reckon it was Dankula. I reckon Dankula broke into your house and used it.
I was thinking that.
He knows the Wi-Fi password.
I did see somebody that looked a bit like Dankula hanging around the street that day, you know. So I think there's a good chance. There's a good chance that it was him that hacked my account and wanted to bring two communities together. Definitely, no doubt.
It's weird. The only two Scottish YouTubers I can think of, and they've both been Dankulaed. I think is the verb at this point.
But Millennial Woes, he got it as well.
Yeah,
in a different kind of way. He got attacked by the press rather than the law. You know, so I mean, it seems like Scotland is just a shithole for this kind of thing now. So
yeah, they're rolling out different tactics in different areas. You know, they got the Nottinghamshire model of street harassment, which has already been rolled out in a couple more counties, and they got the Glasgow model of fucking hate crime. Oh.
So are there any statistics of how many people got arrested, jailed for posting tweets or stuff like that? By the way, can you hear all the noise behind me?
A little bit, but you're fine.
It's really not that bad. It's not.
Okay.
It's not intrusive. It's not intrusive.
Okay, cool. So yeah, how many people got arrested or jailed for
No idea.
writing tweets?
But then it doesn't matter if they get jailed. That doesn't matter. The fact that the police even turn up at the door is the law going too far. It doesn't matter about prison time or fines or anything like that. The police are coming to someone's door for a tweet or a video that is not encouraging anything bad, is already the law going too far. And it is, I know people say it's a fallacy, but for me, it's not a fallacy. The slippery slope is not a fallacy. This says we are on a slippery slope, and who knows where we're going to end up with this.
No, I completely agree that that's too far. That's not my point. My point is, if you put people, has someone's went to jail?
Well, there was actually a case, right? I found I've got this opened. Hang on, I'll post a link in the chat for you guys to see it, right? So if you want to share it, you can share it, right? Hang on, let me just post it because this is the kind of thing I wanted to mention, right? I'll quickly read it out, right? £125,000 payout for a tube worker in the Jelly Baby race jibe. This shows that hate crimes are very profitable, right? A tube worker who accused two colleagues of racism, alleging they taunted him by biting the heads off black jelly babies, has received a £125,000 payout. Now, he got 125 grand payout compensation because two of his work colleagues were biting the heads off black jelly babies. Now, in a free country, you should be allowed to bite the heads off black jelly babies. Not black babies, but black jelly babies. So it's very profitable, the whole
African
thing.
I'm sorry, the term is African Britain jelly babies.
Oh, is it African Britain? Well, you know what I mean. No, we've got a lot of Jamaicans here. We've got a lot of Caribbean blacks here as well.
They're from Africa as well. It's just extra steps, you know.
They're all the same. Oh, gee, hang on.
No.
There we go.
I protest that.
Hang on, there's a police at my door. I just said they were all the same. Hang on. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. This is truly 1984.
Well, I mean, it reminds me as well. It reminds me of the...
This is the same thing with the cake. The cake thing, the gay cake.
Yeah, the gay cake thing.
It was $250,000. What was that?
Yes, that's right. They had to pay a large fine. So much of a fine that they had to close the business.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I've been arguing with what's it? Cult of Dusty about this. He says that that's acceptable, and I said, so is it acceptable to force a tattooist to tattoo a swastika if they don't want to? Is that acceptable? Because that's the business that they provide. So surely it must be okay to go in and say, I want a swastika on my forehead.
You don't need to go
that must have happened a bunch of times as well.
Yeah, no, you don't have to go that far. You can just ask to have a tattoo of the Confederate flag. And someone not agreeing to the Confederate, because that's now a hate symbol. That the Confederate flag is still not a hate symbol in some part of the United States.
The whole Scotland situation reminds me of, see when they first tried the smoking ban, right? They went to Dublin in Ireland, right? And everybody was laughing, thinking, oh my God, you're never going to be able to force people in Dublin to stop smoking. And they did, right? They forced the smoking ban in Dublin. And that made everybody realise, that's why I think they picked Dublin. That made everybody realise that if they can do it in Dublin, they can do it anywhere. And that's why I think they're picking Glasgow in Scotland. Because if you can control how people speak in Glasgow, of all places, this is the city where somebody will call you a cunt to your face as a compliment. If you can control how these people speak, you're all doomed. It's that simple. You are all doomed. You don't stand a chance. And I think that's why they're picking Scotland and Glasgow in general.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell the difference between hate speech and normal speech in Glasgow because you can't tell what anyone's saying. I fight you, Joey, and
in context as well. I mean, if you write something down that a Glaswegian says, without context, it looks bad. Like if I say, that's Skeptorr, he's an all right cunt. That's a compliment. But it sounds, if you write that down, that sounds like I just called him a cunt. You know, that's terrible. But to hear where I am, that's a compliment. That's not a negative thing.
So I think that what's going to happen if people are going to be afraid of, saying what they want to say in a very direct way, they'll just invent a new language, and people use the three what do you call them? Those I'm putting them in the chat right now. These. Wait. These. What do you call these?
Brackets or parentheses.
Brackets. So yeah, to mean Jews. And then you have like plausible deniability and all that shit.
Yeah, I mean they do it all the time. Like they did it with spastic, right? They don't use it with the word spastic. Like I'm talking about the late 80s, right? When I was in school, they said, "Oh, spastic, you can't say that. That's a bad word. You know, you can't say that. That's terrible." So then the kids just went, "Okay, we'll call them Mongos then." Do you know what I mean? So it's just like even kids just change the language to something else that means the same. You just can't control it. But the government,
you can even use.
Oh, you can control it if you're in charge of like universities and governments. You can control the euphemism treadmill to go wherever.
No, but you
the
don't
hell
need
like.
euphemism. All you need is equivocation. All you need is if you say instead of cakes, you say instead of women, you say cakes. Just, or Muslims, you just say I don't know. Instead of Muslim, you just say I don't know tea.
Well, Ramsey Paul used to do
breakfast.
that.
I don't know.
Ramsey Paul used to say Finns instead of Jews, and he used to say
exactly.
He used to say youths instead of blacks, but everybody knew what he meant when he said it.
Yeah, and go prove in court that he meant what he meant.
Exactly.
Not something else.
Exactly. Just let people speak freely. Let them be challenged. But if you start to censor people, it's beyond ridiculous. Especially again with context. Context is very important. As I say, with that tweet that was sent from my computer, the context there's different context to it. Why is it that the absolute worst possible context is taken as the one that was meant?
Because of projection, obviously.
I know it's ridiculous, though. It's ridiculous. I'm when I was just to give you a perspective here, right? See, when I was in the van getting transported to the court, right? There was a guy shouting at the police in the van, and he was saying, "You bastards set me up. You put that axe in my hand." That's what he was saying. I'm sitting there thinking, a fucking tweet. This guy's talking about being set up with an axe in his hand. I'm sitting there for a fucking tweet. What's going on with this country? It's a joke. Unreal.
I'm just picturing this random Glaswegian yelling about an axe now.
It's funny because he was blaming the woman in the van, and she was like, "It's got fuck all to do with me. What are you shouting at me for?" It was quite funny, but
we would never do anything totalitarian.
Ridiculous, man.
By the way, yesterday I saw a video from a campus where this woman said "woman" for plural. And I was thinking about you immediately because when you say woman, you say woman.
Just like Lauren Southern does the same thing. When we say woman and women, we say it the same way. Women. I know it's very confusing, but I have actually because of my viewers, I've actually tried to sort that out. I try to be more clear when I say it now. But yes, I do say women and women. I try to say women when I mean plural, with an I instead of an O. Women. I don't know if that helps.
It just sounds like you're saying whamming.
It doesn't help then. I said maybe I should just say bitches. Then everybody knows it's plural and it's not. Easier.
We should just say mans and women and womans. Let's just use the fucking regular plural from now on. Because I don't know why we decided that O is pronounced eh. There's not many words where an O is pronounced as an eh. Women.
True.
So what's new on your side of this planet?
We're all on on the same side.
Well, there are no sides to the planet, so technically every point is a different side.
Oh, we got a round earther, ladies and gentlemen. We got a filthy round earther.
I'm a round earther. And I'm not ashamed.
But yeah.
But what if it was true though? What if the Earth was flat and we were all thinking we're being cocky and going, of course it's round, of course it's like a globe. You know, what if it's flat and we're all just being cocky?
Well, if you
How stupid would you feel if there was evidence?
If you point a telescope at any of those twinkling lights in the sky, it turns out they're all round. So either they're all flat and they're all facing us, like at a perpendicular angle, or they're all round.
No, the ones that are you cannot see are 90 degrees to your vision, so you cannot see them at all because they're like flat discs.
Yeah, so everything in the universe is either facing towards us or away from us, or everything's just round.
Yeah, exactly.
I will never do a video about flat earthers. They will never be on my radar. I don't know why anyone does. I think they only exist because people troll them so much.
I think it's one of those things as well. Like, even if it turned out to be true, it wouldn't change my life. Oh, the Earth is flat. Oh, okay then, fine, whatever. It doesn't change my life. It doesn't make me panic or anything, you know. So either way, you know, globe or flat, I don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me. So carry on.
Well, I guess that if someone finally finds out that the Earth is flat, we'll be all dead and we won't give a shit. And it would mean nothing to us. I mean, the Earth is round. Do the people like 2,000 years ago care? They don't give a shit.
That was roughly when they figured it out. It was some Egyptian dude, right? He did it with nothing but sticks and the sun.
A Kang figured that out.
Let's see. Okay, if we need to look for some stories.
I've got that video.
Yeah, I loaded up that thing in case we hit a long pause. Are you all in my side tube? Hang on, I'll give you the link.
I can see it. I can see the. Well, I can't. Hang on. I've got the randomer cam. Sorry. Page
the randomer
open.
car. It's the car that Mike drives.
Yes.
I've got the page open, but I don't know. I've already seen the video anyway, and as I said, it's very, very telling that the ratings and the comments are disabled. That's all you need to know about a video sometimes to know how bad it is.
So yeah, we can watch this if you like. It's Tinder showing us that Tinder is run by women for women, and they somehow expect men to get on board with this. Most men are great, as you can see, is what's up there now. 80% of men are below average in the attractiveness department, but they're great. And then there are douchebags. They could be a real problem.
The rest are the rapists.
These are the douchebags determined to solve it.
So, where are we with this douchebag situation?
The thing about douchebags is that they tend to cluster.
Yeah, there's a cluster of them right fucking here.
Is that the political map? What is that saying? Are the left leaning?
Oh, I'm looking. Wait. I'm looking at. I'm not looking at the right screen. Okay.
Yeah, you see that link I just posted in the Hangouts? That's where you gotta go.
So what are the political leanings then? Is that authoritarian left?
Apparently no one is in the bottom right, which would be the libertarian right. These people have never been to the internet. And look at this. Everyone's clustered in the top right. Okay. Who's making this propaganda? Hey. Are you in, Skeptorr? Are you watching the same thing?
Yeah, I just got in.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's true. Our algorithm is showing hard clustering. In some demos, they travel in packs. We've got a solution.
It doesn't introduce you to his friends. I mean,
That's a -8.
You don't like his friends.
We're talking about a Tinder date. Are you expecting to get introduced to his friends on a Tinder date? Seriously?
And if a douchebag guy said, "I'll introduce you to my friends" on his fucking Tinder profile, you go, "Okay, that sounds awesome. I love douchebags who go around in clusters of douchebags." Wait, hang on.
So that's the thing. If he did introduce them to his friends, it would probably count as a douchebag as well. Why introduce? They would complain about that.
And I have to say that this is seriously a very important metric for the dating world to be put on an axis, on the x-axis.
I was just reading everything else. Room for improvement. Room 101. That's what this is.
Oh, improvement. That's a new word.
Yeah, they're gonna put men in front of everything. That's what I mean about you can control the euphemism treadmill. It used to, the word patronizing or patronizing, however you choose to pronounce it, has been turned into mansplaining, which is the same root as patri, as in patriarch. So we can take that's why I say people in charge of governments and universities can take an ordinary insult and turn it into one that only applies to men.
The whole thing is like, I don't know if you see that GIF that I keep sharing with the little girl that attacks the cat, and she keeps continually slaps the cat, and then the cat pounces on her once, and then she starts crying. And to me, that just sums up feminism, and that's what this is here. They're just attacking men, which is insane because Tinder is not just for women. So why are they attacking their male customers? It's so stupid.
Evidently, if you're masochistic enough to go to Tinder, you're probably masochistic enough to not just tolerate this, but fucking approve of it.
I was actually tempted to use something like that, not for the dating game, but for an experiment, and I was going to put two profiles up. One, a completely nice guy, and another one who was just a complete cunt, to see who more women were interested in, because I think they would be interested in the cunt more. If I put on a profile, I will treat you badly, I will treat you like shit, I bet you I'd get more likes or right swipes, whatever it is, than the other guy.
No, what you'll get is some attention that women will go, why do you have to say that? Why do you have to do that? And that would be an open, like, breaking the ice.
It would be a good icebreaker, it would be.
It depends almost entirely on what picture you put up. Independent Man did a video about this, and there's some dudes who actually experimented with this. Like they used the photos of male models, and and when they interacted with women who swiped left, they said the most crude sort of sexting sort of things, like that you would like that if someone like Harvey Weinstein said them, you would go, oh my god, go away. But if you have a picture that happens to make you look like someone above average looks, like a 10 out of 10, then it'll just make them wetter and wetter.
So are you saying I shouldn't use that picture that's on the screen right now with me with the safety pin?
I think that might. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not.
You're not an unattractive fellow, good fella, even when you got the safety pin in front of you.
That just proves I'm safe.
Yeah, why don't you hold a card saying I'm not going to rape you?
Well, that was actually the tweet. Do you know him, Christiosity? I think that's her name, the feminist. She made a video about that tweet. I put that photo up on my last account, and I said, "This proves that I'm safe. I won't rape you or nothing. Promise." That's what I said on the tweet. And she made a video about that because she didn't like the joke that I was, joking about being a rapist.
A not rapist. You were joking about being a not rapist.
Well, well, you know what I mean now, and it's like she just didn't like the joke. She thought you can't joke about rape and stuff, and I completely disagree. Of course you can. You can joke about anything.
You can, but you'll get an endless amount of shit if you tell a joke about rape so much as once.
Yes, I mean I think you should expect it though, but just deal with it. Like if I put some of my posts on Twitter or some posts that other people make on my account on Twitter, I usually think I'm going to get shit for this, but So it's worth the joke, you know. I know I'm going to get it, but it's worth the joke.
How long do
Wait
you
a
think?
second.
How long do you
Wait
think
a
this
second.
Twitter account of yours will last?
Wait a second. Wait a second.
I'm a black woman, and I'm a Democrat, and I'm a Black Lives Matter supporter, and I'm a feminist. So forever.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What happens in Glasgow with stand-up comedians when they go on stage and make
Well,
racist jokes?
I
Is that
actually
okay?
I actually said that to my lawyer in court. I said, "Is Frankie Boyle going to be arrested next?" because he tells some. I mean, his jokes are. There was a show he was there was a show he was on with Macy Gray. This is on YouTube, right? Macy Gray, the singer, and he's talking about paedophiles, right? And he said that he looks like a paedophile. And he said, "What is it about the way I look that kids find so attractive?" and Macy Gray's face was just unbelievably shocked, you know. And I'm thinking, I don't think he should be arrested, but
No, but that's not a
according to
hate
the
crime.
law, you
That's
know.
not a hate crime.
Well,
joke.
but a lot of the things he says could easily qualify as hate crimes. If that tweet is a hate crime, a lot of the things he says could definitely be qualified. And same with Jimmy Carr, you know, who actually writes a lot of Frankie Boyle's jokes, by the way.
Really?
He could, yes, that's true. Yes, he could also be charged with a hate crime for some of the things he says. But celebrity status gets you that kind of protection, you know.
Yeah.
No, seriously, but when you go to a stand-up comedy club, and there are many stand-up comedians, a lot of them will use racist jokes that all can fall under the hate speech law. But I guess is that if the law gives them the ability to do that, all you need to do is open a Twitter account, say I'm a stand-up comedian, and Twitter is my stage. Again, then go and say
that might actually be a good defense, by the way.
Mhm.
That might be a good defense, you know. Because then you can hide behind that it's a joke. But of course, you shouldn't have to do that. But you know, that might be a good defense.
Yeah, that's Dan Harmon's defense, though, isn't it? I can say whatever I like. I'm a comedy genius. I alone. Yeah, this is something I've wrestled with a lot in my time. You can't. Occasionally, you can say it was just a joke, but you can't get away with saying I'm a comedian every time, because some of the jokes we make have points. Most of the jokes we make have points.
I think most of them, yes. Doctor, have you ever self-censored? Have you ever went to post something, either video or Twitter or whatever, and thought, I better not?
No, because I script all my videos. That's that stage ahead of everything. I do self-censor myself when I'm scripting it. I write something and then think, can I get away? Probably not. I'll say something else. And a couple of times I have recorded it and then been editing it and then thought, I'm not going to include that bit. That could be easily misconstrued. But this is the advantage of taking it slowly and doing it like point by point. I think that's
even
why
then you're not safe.
Yeah, I think that's why I've never been banned from Twitter in my almost 10 years on it. I think, but partly because even if I'm drunk, I think of what I'm doing before I do it, and because I don't tag people. I don't get into many arguments with feminists, for instance.
I think you're very vague on Twitter. Sometimes I read your tweets and I think, what's he talking? Well, who's he having a go at here? Who's he attacking here?
Yeah, it's because it's not an individual I'm attacking. It's an idea. I think most people who get into trouble in Twitter get into trouble because they tag people and they actually get into actual spats with them. I never tag people unless they've tagged me first. If you see what I mean.
I'm curious about the rest of the video because I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, should we go?
If you know.
All right,
let's go.
Bring me someone with real douchebag experience, and I'll show you how it works.
Go back. Want to see the Matrix?
The Matrix.
Hard clustering.
Matrices.
Jay goes back on a YouTube video. Goes back 10 seconds.
Is that they
Control this. This is cool.
I'm controlling.
No, not these. Wait. Let me.
You can't do it. You're not selected as
I can still. Here we go. Can you see it? Hey,
What are you doing?
I can move. From my perspective, I can.
From your
I can
perspective, you can, but that's not changing it because you're.
Okay.
I've elected myself as the leader.
Let
of
me
this.
let me tell you which. It's second 19.
19. Okay.
Travel in packs. We've got a solution.
Not
Bring me-
here. Here.
What's
Yeah.
that? Positive suburban upbringing, day traders, middle children, red car owners. What the fuck? A red car? How is that even relevant
I
in
think
any
that's
way?
a joke. I think that's someone's attempt at a surreal sort of.
It
joke.
must be. Because if that's a Ferrari, they don't care. Unreal. Did the percentages add up? Actually, wait a minute. 43. Hang on.
The only thing I get is middle children. Here.
I think they're having
And
a go.
maybe-
They're having a go at the middle class.
No, I thought it was he was a middle child, like he's got an older brother or a younger sister
Yeah,
or something.
what we call
Maybe.
a sandwich child.
Yes.
Yeah. But also, positive suburban upbringing is kind of telling. This is the same sort of stereotype that they try and put on MRAs. They're basically middle class, privileged, well, douchebags who don't have anything to complain about.
Except when they kill themselves. No, I'm not going to go there. Okay.
But
Let's
yeah,
go on.
those people do exist. I'm not saying they don't. There's fucking douchebags everywhere. Mostly raised by single mothers. Ha ha!
Someone with real douchebag experience, and I'll show you how it works.
Who can we call?
How about a massive douchebag?
I've got this.
Look how fucking ugly her feet are. Your feet are ugly, Whitney.
Old feet. She's old.
Look at those veins, Whitney. Ugh. You look like a fucking creature out of Zelda.
Well, don't vein shame her.
No, I think this is really getting to her. I think feet are her thing, or she wouldn't have agreed to this shot. All right, I'm done.
Go right in. They're expecting you.
No, don't worry about it. This is for you.
If any man introduced himself like this, like this is how Michael Bay introduces his hot female characters. Like when Megan Fox comes in, you got to start with a fucking ass shot or something. But if any man sort of introduced himself like this, like here's my ass, here's my feet, here's my legs, we think, oh my god, what a fucking douchebag! Wouldn't we? He's obsessed with his looks. All right.
Real Raven.
What?
It's no, I'm just answering Real Raven. It's violence against women. It's not selfish when men commit suicide. It's violence against women.
Oh god. You think you're joking, don't you?
I'm not joking.
Yeah, you're calling it is what you're doing. It's gonna.
I actually heard that on our radio on a show
this.
talking about men's suicide.
Look at the shape of that monitor. Look at the shape of that monitor there. That's odd, isn't it?
No, that's how they do it in offices now. Elongated, like not landscape but portrait.
Portrait's strange.
Because you can put a lot of text that you can read like a newspaper. It's like
All right, okay.
Like those service modules they have in some selected McDonald's stores now.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not talk about McDonald's.
Hey, welcome to Tinder.
Douchebag expert at your service.
Whitney Cummings, actress, comedian, douchebag.
And I honestly don't know who that is.
Me too.
Well, you
her
do
name
now.
sounds like a porn star.
Yes, that's that joke's been done very often.
Okay.
I think she might have assumed that name just for that. Yeah.
All right, ladies, listen up. It's our job to make sure we give all the women in the world the tools they need to fight douchiness.
In the world. So we're going to Saudi Arabia as well. Excellent.
You can imagine women in Saudi Arabia. This guy is a douche. Yeah.
I'm not going to drive to his house now. I've decided. I have to think of some joke about the driving thing.
Did you see all the new car joke? They are finally going to get all the women driving jokes in Saudi Arabia.
time, anywhere. And Whitney's dealt with a lot of douchebags in her life.
A lot. The last guy I dated had calf implants. So we
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so having implants is a douchey thing to do. So the vast majority of douchebags, Whitney, are female. Yes? Having cosmetic implants just to look better makes you a douchebag.
Equality, feminism. Yeah. Go ahead.
As I said, how common is that? I've never even heard of calf implants,
Neither have I.
let alone know a man with calf implants. I don't know how common this is.
I hadn't heard of butt implants until like 10 years ago, because I think that's when they started happening. But now there's one that men get as well. In theory, has anyone's fucking heard of anyone who's actually got calf implants, please let us know. But they might be making it up.
They're saying it like it's a common thing on Tinder, though. Oh, you'll never believe what I had. I had another guy with calf implants. When does this even happen?
I don't know. Much less often than the kind of implants women get. But of course,
Mhm,
they're just doing it to please men. So women are the victims of it.
Oh no, they're not doing it to please men. Apparently, they told me it's for their own confidence. That's what they told me. It was nothing to do with men. That's what they said.
Until the conversation takes until the conversation takes this edge, where they go, well, women are just narcissistic and obsessed with their looks, and then they go, no, they're only doing it because they have to, because of patriarchy, because men demand it of them. But these guys who implant shit into their calves, they're just doing it because they're fucking narcissists, douchebags, if you like. I don't know how they do this. It's like they're taking everything bad they think about themselves without ever acknowledging that it applies to themselves, and then going, let's apply this to men somehow. It's cluster B, man.
We all agree that calling out douchebags should be easy and fun. So let's show Whitney new Tinder reactions.
Oh, genius. Yes.
First, we have our basic.
Pure genius. You know, that's like somebody saying, I might put ice in my water. Genius. No, it's not fucking genius. It's not genius at all.
Emoticons.
Wait.
Emoticons are genius, man. They deserve a movie of their own.
It reminds me of that scene in Ghostbusters where the dumb man offers them the logo, and he draws something like a hot dog on top of a house and says, "That's your logo."
Yeah.
Have you actually watched that? Is that the new one?
I've seen that clip.
I wanted to talk about that movie because it's the worst movie ever produced. Seriously, and I'm not just.
Watch Red Letter Media's review of the movie. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Plinkett to come out of the woodwork.
Exactly.
Once a year, Plinkett comes out and owns the internet and did it again.
No, not Harry Plinkett. They actually did also, before they did the Harry Plinkett bit, they have like Half in the Bag where they just sit in the studio and talk about the movie. And it was so brilliantly, they touched all the points correctly. And they explained why the film was terrible for like 45 minutes. And in the very last 10 seconds, he said, "Oh, that's not why the movie was bad. It's because it's all about women." And that's how it ends. And it takes the punch out of, takes the sting out of all those. It's because they are women. It's because they are women. It did that brilliantly.
Yeah, when James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd, said, "Right, I'm not doing a review of this. I refuse to do it to review." What did everyone say? Oh, it's because you hate women. So then Red Letter Media does a review, and everyone goes,
he said he won't even watch it.
It's almost too easy, though. I mean, if you make a movie, you can fill it with women, and then if anybody doesn't like it, you can just say, "Well, that's because they're misogynist."
Oh yeah, that's a brilliant tactic.
You use women as a shield, and I mean, I'm not a woman, but if I was, I would be very annoyed at that. Stop using me as a shield,
Maybe there is a conspiracy here. Maybe they wrote the script, saw that it's so bad, and said, "We'll just put women over there and tell everyone to shut up if they have any critique of the film."
Right,
seriously,
you guys keep talking. I need to collect more beer and then go to the bathroom. So.
Okay, seriously, that was the worst. Even I saw the film with my wife, and my wife is not like all MRA and shit, right? She's like on many things a typical woman, and although she actually has a brain and she thinks for herself, she's like a typical woman on many things. So I said to her, listen, there's this new film, Ghostbusters, let's just watch it. And during the film, when the actresses were ad-libbing, and she went, oh my fucking God, stop ad-lib. Stop the ad-lib. I cannot take this any longer. And at one point I said, Jesus, I actually, there was this battle between the Ghostbusters and the demons. And I said, I want the demons to win. And she said, yeah, me too. I want them to fucking die. And she said, after the movie, she said, wow, that was like a 2 hour, I feel like it was, I feel like a rape victim. This movie was bad. And it was actually very, very bad. It was.
No, you can't.
And Red Letter Media showed exactly where they went wrong. Just
definitely.
going.
I mean, you can't just point a camera at actors and then say, right, just go with it. Just keep improvising until we get something.
Actually,
unless you have genuine comedic talent, if you don't have genuine comedians who are really good at ad-libbing, then you're not going to get anywhere. And I think that's where they went wrong. I mean, to be fair, I haven't watched the movie. I've been watching a lot of reviews of the movie, so I've kind of seen a lot of parts of the movie, and I just don't want to see it. It looks so bad. But
is Mike back?
Yes,
Mike.
Okay, I have to go for like a few minutes because my daughter is having a friends over for her birthday, and now it's the cake part, and I have to go to the cake part.
Okay.
So I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Well, I'm sorry that there's somebody else is saying there. Give Doc something to eat. Can barely hear him. Skeptorr and Goodfella are blasting through my speakers in contrast. Sorry about that. I don't mean to shout, but I don't know how. The whole OBS situation is. It takes a while to get used to. Try to get the volumes matching perfectly.
It's largely this new microphone I'm using. It's this condenser effort. Hang on, because I'm right up close to it as well. I'm fucking popping right into it, as you could probably hear, but it's still not very. I mean, I turned the master volume up now, and I'll turn the desktop audio down now, but I'll keep myself up higher. That should have.
Or I don't know if you could turn me and Skeptorr down. I don't know if that'll help. I don't know.
That's what I mean. I'm turning everything down except the microphone. I hope that's helped, chat. I could turn the desktop audio down a bit more, but I don't know if I can go much further than that. Anyway, someone says there you go, Mike. All right.
Somebody said that. Hang on, was it? The Great Indoors says the Justica. Who's Justica? Is he here?
I doubt it. He only uploads videos. He only uploads videos on the last day of the month. I think he knows something about Patreon that we don't.
Maybe.
Because he's a bit of a math whiz. I think he's figured out something.
I really like his videos. See if I'm playing like a video game and I want to listen to YouTube in the background. His videos are ideal because he doesn't really put a lot of things on screen.
Yeah.
It's just him talking, so you can listen to him in the background while you're playing your game. And I think Justica's great. I've not seen him uploading anything for a while, to be honest.
No, like I said, he waits until the end of the month, like literally the last day of the month. Sometimes the last few hours of the month, and then he uploads like 2 or 3 or 4 videos, and then nothing for the rest of the month. I think it's because of Patreon, and I think.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because when you get new pledges, their first pledge is maximum, and from there on it goes down. So when you get new patrons, the idea is to get them all in before the end of the. You know what? Does everyone know what I mean? Does everyone know what kind of maths I'm talking about here?
I'm not sure how it works. I mean, I never make my videos around, the Patreon thing. And to me, I'm pretty random. I'm not a weekly YouTuber or a daily YouTuber. It's just if something comes up, I'll make a video, and that's just what I'm like. By the way, talking about Patreon, I actually lost a patron yesterday. Do you know why? Because he said after my last video he thinks I'm homophobic because of that tweet. So he says, I'm not going to support you on Patreon anymore. I thought, Jesus Christ, man. Unreal.
Sorry, now I'm being told it's all too low.
It's all too low.
Yeah, I tried to fix the problem with my own microphone and it just fucked up everyone else's. But I'm going to try and put it back to normal now. Is that better, guys? Okay.
Speak up. Have I gone down? Aye, they're all saying it. Aye, they're all saying it. Right, you cunts. Can you hear us now? Are we okay now? Jesus. Sounds fucked. No, sounds fucked. What we get? My volume's at 60. I can't hear all of them perfectly fine. Oh, he can hear all of them perfectly fine. That's fixed it. Right, okay. Wayne Ringland saying that's fixed it. Better. Right, okay.
Yeah,
I hear slightly better now.
I'll get some people saying it's better and some people saying it's not. I don't fucking understand.
You can't please all the people all the time though. It doesn't matter. You just can't. Which is a shame.
I'm gonna have to get a better mic. Alison's got.
I don't know. I can hear you perfectly fine. You know, do you know what I mean? And I've not even got my volume up very high. I can hear you perfectly fine. So I don't think it's your mic. I think it's maybe more OBS.
It is the mic. You're not hearing what the audience is hearing.
Right. No, I just because I can hear you fine. I'm thinking your mic works fine. So maybe it's OBS. Possibly.
It is the OBS thing, and it's.
See, when I put OBS on, right, this strange thing happens, right? See, when I put OBS on, the microphone is very low. I have to go into my microphone settings, the levels, and then when I click on the levels, see when I turn the volume completely off, it works louder. And I don't know, I have no idea. I've no idea how that works, but that's what I need to do for every video. I need to keep going into my microphone settings and just turning it off or turning it off and then on again and stuff to get it to work properly. It's very annoying. But good fella is perfect. Well, thank you very much, Real Raven. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I've got the levels on up to 100. There's nothing I could do other than shout a bit more because it's a condenser mic. This thing cost me 50 fucking quid.
Do you have a pop?
200 quid.
Do you have a pop filter?
I don't, because
I mean, you're not popping anyway. By the way, I was just curious. Maybe that was making it quieter.
I do have a pop filter, but I'm not using it. I did for a while, but I thought no. Everyone's complaining about how quiet it is.
What kind of mic is it?
It's like I say, it's a condenser, but it doesn't need its own like separate condenser pack. It's just a USB that plugs straight in.
I've got a mic that they don't make anymore, so it doesn't even get new drivers or anything.
After December, this will be all right because I'll get my old microphone back. Alison and I have exactly the same H4n Zoom microphone, and they wrongly got switched while we were in California last. So she's got mine and I've got hers, and mine is better than hers.
Well, Punkster's just said, "Where is a Muslim with a microphone when you need one?" Oh, jeez. I don't think that's, even though it's mental, I don't think I'm going to let that down. By the way, I got a letter today from a lawyer.
You know, just on Twitter. Is that the thing?
Yeah, basically saying if you hear anything, let us know. So I don't even know what's happening next. I have no idea where I stand, and I think that's pretty shitty as well. You know, they took me away for the weekend, and they don't even tell me what the hell's going on. You know, so now I need to just wait and bite my nails and wait on the next step. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a letter next year, and they'll say, right, you need to go to court. I don't know.
So how long were you in a cell for?
I was there. I got arrested on. Well, I got detained, but that's pretty much arrested on 7:20 at night. They took me to the station, and I was there, and then I had to go to court, and then I finally got out of court about 2:45, something like that, on the Monday. So I was there all weekend. All weekend. So because
I talked about you on Sunday because you did you did that women in comedy video before I did, and I was like, he's my Glaswegian in a coal mine. I had no idea you were in jail at the time.
That's right. I've seen that video. I thought that was a good. I changed my name to that on Twitter, Glaswegian in a coal mine. that's quite good.
Yes, just those funny coincidences that we have sometimes. Like we both responded to that Chris Yostity video at the same time. had no idea what each other were doing, but we both mentioned Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's right. That was weird. That was bloody weird.
We're like that, you and me, good fella. We're like that. I'm crossing my fingers. That's what we're like.
That's why I think you're next. So if you hear a knock at the door on a Friday night, don't answer it. Don't answer the door on a Friday night.
Yeah, I
that's
never
what I've
answer the
learned.
door unless I'm expecting someone.
Well, do you know I'm exactly the same? Unless I expect someone, I don't answer the door. But yet, for some reason, on this Friday night, even though I wasn't expecting anyone, I thought I'll see what it's about, and it just because I'm the same. I don't answer the phone unless I know I'm expecting a call, or I know who it is by their name on the phone, and I don't answer the door unless I'm expecting someone. I'm exactly the same. So if you get a knock on the door on a Friday or a Saturday night, don't answer it. You'll be there until Monday.
Yeah, I would.
I wonder if
I get a ring rather than a knock. It's easier to ignore.
Do you think that some cases are closed just because the guy wasn't there? The police station, they go back and they write on the report, we knocked, he wasn't there, and we didn't go back.
It must happen all the time. Like, speaking as someone who's been a postman and a electric meter reader at one brief point. Most people are fucking not in when you want them to be in.
Let's go on with the video.
Yes, let's.
Our basic douche. He's a CEO at Self-Employed because...
Basic douche is a CEO.
As if the CEO part, as if they need to hear anything else. If they hear he's a CEO, they're interested, done. That's the most ironic thing about this video, is the douchebags are the very men that women go for. That's what's ironic about this whole thing.
Because women are douchebags too.
Yes. Half of these women would go for these men. They're not going to go for Mr. Nice Guy who's going to treat them well. They're not interested in that. They want the bastard who, ignores them and treats them badly. They do, and women will have a go at me for saying that, but it's true. Why don't you just admit it? At least we'll all be happy then.
as he's overqualified for every job he's ever interviewed for.
Exactly. He shows up to your first date with a Bluetooth, and he tips the bare minimum on his black card.
I know this.
Okay, so basically rich guys are out too.
That's a good strategy, yeah. I'm for it.
Because you fucked off all the guys except the rich guys, and now the rich guys can fuck off too. Great plan, Tinder.
Douche, he's the guy who's late because he was charging his vape.
Mm-hmm.
I like this.
Really?
And next we have our intermediate.
Really? This is why women aren't funny, because that's their idea of a punchline. Really?
But the idea as well that there's not, like, as you mentioned, douchebag women on Tinder. I mean, of course, a lot of men are looking at the women going, oh, please, enough. Oh, she's pretty. What does that say? Feminist? Fuck off. Obviously there's douchey women as well.
I have altered my gain. Am I louder now, folks? Is this better?
I can hear you fine, but I'm using headphones.
I know.
Guys, just use headphones.
You guys aren't hearing what everyone else. Yeah, headphones make it better. But someone suggested I turn up the gain, and I didn't realize that was an option, and I just tried it.
The gain? The gain.
Yeah.
Did you add 10 or 20%?
5. I'm going to start with 5. If you go 10, it can be blistering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna, because there's a 30-second delay when you go OBS. So we're gonna start getting chats soon saying, yes, that's better, Mike. Thank you very much. Or they're gonna carry on saying, no, fuck you. You suck at everything. Which I love you for, guys. Please, still low, but a limit. Okay.
Raven, maybe you're losing your hearing.
Okay, I've put it up to 10. The last thing I want is gain to 11, Mike. This one goes to 11. No, I put it up to 10. I put it because you don't need to go above 10. All right, I think that's better. All right, carry on. All right, we'll carry on.
Idiot douche.
This is the guy that lists his expectations right in his bio.
Wait,
He's into
was
fitness.
is that T1J?
What?
No. I almost thought that for a second that was T1J.
It does look a bit like
That is so racist. They all look alike. You're lucky you're not in Glasgow, by the way. You'd be arrested right now.
Okay, let's go.
This
on.
is the guy that lists his expectations right in his bio. He's into fitness, and you should be too.
He documents every trip.
Wait. Yeah, again, yeah, guys who give a shit about their appearance are douchebags. This is coming from women who.
No, he's a douchebag for wanting the woman to look good as well, to be healthy as well.
The next thing they say about him, though, I thought was very funny and showed that he had a very good sense of humor.
Let's hear it.
Yes, and you should be too.
He documents every trip to the gym on his Instagram feed.
He makes shirtless memes of himself that say this body wasn't built for monogamy.
That's brilliant. This body wasn't built for monogamy, and then that just shows the guy's got a sense of humor. That's brilliant, man. That's an absolutely brilliant comment.
It's exactly the kind of thing a woman would say, but absolutely seriously.
Hashtag no days off guy.
And lastly, here we have our advanced douche.
So this one uses eggplant emojis as its opener and dinner's on me.
Or emojis. Like that, like really. Like that face you just put up that goes, oh, just that's your idea of a fucking witty retort. You
And
cunt.
that's his erection, apparently.
Aren't they being a bit racist, actually? He looks a bit brown to me.
Yeah, it looks a bit Indian.
Being a bit racist.
They're very diverse in the men they shit on. You gotta give them that. It used to just
That's
be brown
important.
men, but now they
Apparently
shit on all
that's
the men.
important too, yeah.
They don't like him because he's brown, but they're pretending it's the emoji. Sure, we believe you.
I'm not dating any Ahmeds.
Where's a truck when you need one?
Baby come hungry as his closer.
Just felt my uterus tilt inside my body. Need to sit.
That's what it is.
Was that an Appletini?
It looked like a zombie. I don't know many drinks that are that sort of cyan color.
Yeah. So basically, you know what all those women in that board will do next? They'll write a column in one of the women's magazines saying, "Where are all the good men?" That's the next thing they will do.
All the good men are douchebags. All the bad men are douchebags.
Actually, I have a recommendation for everyone who is listening. Go to The Atlantic and Google all the single women, which is a very good piece about why women at age 35 and up cannot find any good guys to marry. So go and read that column.
Well, it's got to be because men prefer youth and beauty. I mean, that must be the main reason.
Well, what happens is women are now becoming more, especially this is going, this article is targeted at women who are educated and make a lot of money, or at least, have a good career, and they're intelligent and beautiful and whatnot. The thing is that they're focusing on their careers at the early ages of their lives, so they don't want to get married, and they are very picky because they look good, they are intelligent, what have you. And what happens is that there are more and more educated women that earn more and more, and there are less and less educated men, and they are making less money. So women are not going to marry down, and once they reach 30, they are starting to look for a serious relationship. By that time, most of the good, the eligible guys are already taken. So they are stuck with two types of men usually, which is the alpha males that look good, make a lot of money, and they know that now it's like a buyer's market for them. And so they know that there are many women that look for them. So they are just becoming players. They don't want to get attached. They just want to skip from one woman to another because they know their value. And then you get all the uneducated men that don't make a lot of money. So those women don't want to date them. And that's why that's the story. The story is written by a woman exactly in that situation, and she calls herself a feminist, but she is actually pretty woke, you can say, about the situation.
If I could advise all women, especially young women, I would just like to tell them that stop thinking that men are attracted to the same things that they are attracted to, because they're just not. Men don't care about money. Men don't care about power. They don't care. Stop thinking that if you get a good job, a good career, and you make a lot of money, that you'll get a lot of men chasing you. It's not going to happen. If you're beautiful and you have youth, then men will be attracted to you. Other than that, nothing. You don't need anything else.
Well,
but they keep making that same mistake.
I know a lot of MRA women, a lot of anti-feminist women, and most of them are married, or at least in a long-term relationship. And this is largely why I'm MGTOW, because most women, in fact, the vast majority of women, either have impossible standards because they're either feminists or affected by feminism or whatever, or they don't have impossible standards, and so they find a man very quickly and very easily and stick with him. So there's very few. So there's very few left over. You might as well just sit back and watch it happen to everyone else.
And actually, I'm agreeing with Eddie Murphy on here. I think all you women have to do is cater to the men's ego and a bit more, of course. You need to show him love and affection, and of course, if you look good, that's also a plus, a big plus. But that's what men want from their women. Eventually, they want attention. They want to be loved and cared for. That's all.
And stop looking down. Stop looking down on women who can cook and take care of a home. Because men like that. Stop looking down on it as if it's a negative thing. It's a positive thing that you can take care of kids, take care of a home, cook and clean and all that kind of stuff. These are all positive things that you shouldn't look down on, because men don't. Men don't look down on those things. Men like those things.
It's not just looking down. Red Pill Couch made a good video response to the guys who are saying don't have children, and in that, I fully agree with that. What he had to say on that video, which is, go and watch it. It's actually a very good video, and he talks about a career is mostly, for most people, is just an illusion. Like, you want a career to be successful, to be I don't know, a manager or whatever. That will pass. When you get older, you won't care. The only thing that you would care about is, I'm sorry to say it, Mike, but having kids and spending time with them when they grow up, which will be with you until the day you'll die. And that's the most important thing that you can do in your life. And I tend to agree that it's much better to stay at home if you're up to it. I mean, most men are not up to it naturally, which I get. I'm not into staying at home and raising my children like being a stay-home dad. But it's actually something which is far more important than having a illustrious career. And that's, I agree with that.
If you can have an illustrious career while staying at home, then your quid's in.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I do.
Difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being a stay-at-home anything. I am a stay-at-home something.
You're a stay-at-home YouTuber.
Yeah. I have no qualms about calling myself a YouTuber. I know it sounds lame, but fuck it, I am lame. But yeah, I think I'll get a lot more achieved by talking to thousands of people on the internet than by talking to a couple of kids. This is my thing. Talking to a couple of kids can raise a couple of fantastic human beings. I'm just not into the responsibility of being in charge of the entire lives of a couple of human beings. I'd rather just inject some funniness into a few thousand human beings. That's
why you get a wife for. She'll do it.
Well, no, they
you
need
do that part. I'll do something else.
They need a male role model as well. That's the thing. You can't just half-ass parenting.
But to be a role model, you don't need to be there 24/7. You just need to know the right times to come and say the right thing.
Yeah.
When they need you.
Well, just Skip is saying there, having kids But what if the kids are taken from you after you've had them? Now, I mean, obviously that's a concern depending on the woman, but that's just like thinking, what if they die? You know, what if I have kids and then they die? You know, it's the chance you take, isn't it? But at the
Yeah,
end, at the end of the day,
you cannot live your life that safe.
no, you can't live like that. I mean, each to their own. I can understand why people don't want to have kids, but if it was up to me, I would recommend that most people do at least have one. You know,
It's a life changer.
before I had a kid, I didn't want to have a kid, you know. But then when I had a kid, everything changed, you know, for the better, you know. So, but that's just me. For everybody else, it's different. Each to their own. I don't judge.
I think that for most people, of course there are exceptions, which is fine, but for most people, having it, you know, the first kid at least changes their lives if they want to be a parent, and not beforehand. I mean, they realize it afterwards. They get attached.
If you don't have any kids ever, then I'm here to inspire and motivate you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Not only because your life choices are valid as well, but because of the overpopulation situation. I'm very glad we have, you know, at least a faction of people who aren't having children, because you'll need people like me.
Yeah, and if I can make an analogy, it's like when on those Hollywood movies where this guy has like a dog that runs after him, and he doesn't like the dog, and he takes him in eventually, and he gets attached to the dog because he takes him to the vet or something, and now he worries about the dog, and he doesn't want to give up the dog. Same thing, only with people instead of dogs.
Yeah, it's not everything relates to the overpopulation situation, but if you want the population to remain at 7 billion, have 2 children. If you want it to go up, have more. If you want it to go down, have less. Fewer, sorry.
I actually saw a video. I cannot even remember where. That the UN is actually very good at predicting population growth. I think it was on Independent Man. I think Independent Man.
Yeah, everyone says we'll get to 10 billion and then we'll gradually go down again. But
yeah, or it's we are on the exponent. We were on the exponent, and now we are on the curve is starting to slow down. And
we don't know what the future holds. I mean, there might be a new disease that comes out in 10 years that wipes out half the population. You know, we don't know.
Yeah, of course, not assuming anything like that.
Yeah, if that happens, then yeah, we should vamp up the reproducing, but don't produce the product until you have the shelves for it.
This is something that I don't understand about the West, especially in countries like Germany, Britain, and even Japan. Why don't the governments tell people to, go procreate? Give them incentives, even monetary incentives.
I think the Belgian government does. The Belgian government, I think they give you like a mortgage or something like that to help you buy a house if you have a kid, and if you have 2 kids, they give you even more money.
They need to encourage non-single parents. They need to encourage.
I think that's what the whole point is. They encourage families to procreate by giving them money every time they have a child, rather because they want to get the population up.
It happened in Iran. After a great deal of warring with Iraq, and they found most of their male adults had, or at least a great deal of their male adults had perished in the fighting and shit. Oh, was it Iran or Iraq? I forget. It's one of the axis of evil countries. But it happened in Nazi Germany as well. The propaganda of the government includes giving women all kinds of incentives for having as many children as possible, because they need to replace all the people who died in all the fighting just now.
Yeah, and the Japanese... Go ahead.
It makes sense if you're in hard times like that. And it's, like I say, again, wait until the hard times happen before
No, we are already in the hard times. It's it's like the frog on the pan analogy.
Yeah, that's a myth. They don't stay in the pan. They jump out when it gets hot.
Okay, but still, the analogy applies here. I mean, it's so gradual that we don't notice it. And when you have a growth rate of 1.5, which means you are decreasing in numbers, a couple of, a few decades, a few generations.
It's much like the colonization of space thing. I like the idea that eventually we'll have a sort of Dyson sphere going on, where we have like satellites going all around the sun, taking in all the solar energy, and by then we can literally have trillions of humans orbiting the sun in these various space stations. But let's wait until we have those things before we breed the humans to put them in. Because if we breed the humans first and then go, all right, let's build some space stations, we might fuck it up and just end up with trillions of humans we can't put anywhere.
Well, I don't think that even if the population of the planet is doubled, then that would be a problem in 30 years or 50 years from now.
Not in the countryside, no, but the cities are going to get worse and worse.
That's what, if people want to live one on top of each other like that, it's their prerogative. You can always move to the suburbs. But look at what happens in Japan. People at the age of 30, both men and women, are virgins. Like 65% of them. They don't have any relations. They were never in any relationships. The men are terrified of women. They prefer to stay home. The women are completely, depressed and what have you. And they are on a very fast track to complete self-destruction. Which is a bit scary if you think about it. Suddenly in a couple of decades, an entire nation disappears. And a nation that gave us hentai and great cartoons and a lot of good electronics, which is a shame.
Beautiful women as well.
Yeah, I noticed that you like them.
Oh, yes. It'd be sad to see them go.
Well, we'll just go in and take the women.
We're not about to run out of Asians anytime soon.
Well, I seen this thing on the internet the other day, right? And it said the different body types that men prefer around the world, right? And some prefer slim, some prefer mid, and some prefer chubby. And I was thinking, couldn't we all just arrange to do a big swap and give the countries that like the fatties all the fatties? Do you know what I mean? And bring all the slim ones over here. Let the ones that like the fat ones, take them, on you go. You're welcome.
Take all those fat American women and put them in the Congo. It'll be fine.
Yes, couldn't we just have a big swap? We'd all be happy then.
Oh my God, good fella, you're treating women like chattel.
Chattel! Yes, chattel.
You're giving the feminists all the talking points. What are you doing?
It wasn't him. Someone else is using his IP address and his voice.
Exactly. I can do good, Phil. Maybe it was me. Let them take all the women.
No, you're nowhere near as good as Doctor. Doctor's the best at the Scottish.
Hey, my dad's Scottish. Half my fucking family's Scottish. So
I can make your voice much better. Way better than Doctor.
I don't think you know what it's like. Well, Skeptorr probably knows, but I don't think you know what it's like to have a funny accent, because you think you're just talking normal, and everybody else goes, "I can't understand what you're saying."
But when you realize how American or British accents sound like, can't you see it?
I very often find myself trying to control my arse. I mean my arse. Because Americans use R's for everything.
You have a diarrhea problem. Okay.
Yes. Because it's not just Americans. Everyone pronounces their R's, except the English, and because the Scottish still pronounce their R's and the Irish do. I think it's just a posh sort of English affectation, and a New York affectation, and a not posh New York affectation, to not pronounce the R's, as in pronounce it R's instead of R's. And when I'm doing that, I often think maybe I should use a different word that doesn't have an R in it, so people know what I'm saying.
Well, can you say there's been a murder like in Taggart?
There's been a murder.
Yes, that's how you pronounce your R's.
Murder.
There's been a murder.
It's like a little trill of the D. It's especially a Glasgow thing, I've noticed, the way they trill the R's like it's a D. Murder. Because if it was if it was Aberdeen or sort of north of that, where they actually, it's more like Irish, where they actually say murder. Because there are some posh Scottish people who are convinced they don't sound Scottish because they pronounce things properly. You see, they say murder, which is the correct way to pronounce it.
And the Australians, they put R's where they don't belong. I cannot think of a word that to demonstrate what I'm talking about, but sometimes when you have a word that ends with "o," you hear an R in there.
They don't pronounce the O's as O's, it's Oys. Oi, noi!
Yeah.
They don't say, oh no.
Doi. Good doi.
Yes.
It's all in the vowels.
Do you know, I read a fact. I was watching that Mel Gibson movie where he gets revenge. I can't remember. Anyway, I was watching it on Amazon Prime the other day, and facts come up on the screen as you're watching the movie, right? And it said in Australia they had to change the tagline. The tagline of the movie was "Prepare to root for the bad guy," and then they had to change it to "Prepare to cheer for the bad guy," because root in Australia means sexual intercourse. So they had to change. They had to change it in America. Payback. That was the name of the movie. Payback. They had to change it in Australia. Sorry, because of the slang over there. But they must do that with a lot of movies.
Actually, I heard that. I don't know if that's true because I don't speak Spanish. That the truck Pajero.
I don't know. No.
That which is called Pajero. I think it's a Mitsubishi.
Pajero. I've not heard of it. No.
Let me see if it's a Mitsubishi. Yeah, it's a Mitsubishi Pajero. And they don't use that word in Spain because Pajero is pajero, and as I understand, it's wanker. So it's a Mitsubishi wanker. So that's why they changed the name over there.
They probably sell more.
Well, there's a car called the...
Yeah, even Real Raven says wanker. I was right.
There's a car called a Fiat Pinto, and they had to change the name in South America because Pinto is a Brazilian Portuguese word for small genitalia.
Oh, Jesus.
It happens all the time.
I've seen a black woman, not me, a black woman on Twitter complaining about some mascara, and it said on the mascara label, black, negro, and whatever else. And negro obviously means black in Spanish. And she posted it and went, "This is disgraceful that they're calling this negro." She thought that they were saying that the colour was negro. She didn't understand that in Spanish, negro is black. And it just, that's how far they have to go to be a victim. Translation.
Yeah, it happened with the word niggardly, and now it's happening with it. Because that's the Scandinavian roots sort of word to say that someone is stingy or kind of snide, to call them niggardly. And it has no relation to the Latin root negro. I think is it Latin? Or I think it's Latin. But yeah, you can't say that anywhere, even though it has no relation to black. And now you can't say negro either. Fucking, I think they're gonna try and ban syllables. Any syllables that sound like nigger are gonna get banned.
Well, I think what we should do is ban all words until the government approves of what you say. Every post you make should be approved by the government. The SNP should approve every one of my posts, just to be sure, We're heading there.
Unless you're actually a black trans woman of colour.
Oh, of course, that's different. That's different. Hey, I'm not trans. I just look trans.
Is it Queen Latifah, your avatar?
No, it's actually it's a photo of me, right? And it's blended with a photo of Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks, that's the one.
Yes, Tyra Banks, yes. And it was the best I could come up with to look like a black woman. So now I'm a black woman on Twitter, which makes me uncriticizable, unbannable. That's me. I'm safe now.
I would take that avatar and put it in a wheelchair just to be safe.
Just to be extra safe, yes. Terrible that that's what I've got to do, though. I mean, it's awful that that's what I've got to do. I mean, I've got in my bio that men and white people are trash, and I'm still there. You know, and on my last 4 accounts, I haven't said anything that bad, and yet I got banned. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, nobody knows what's going on.
I'm looking for more stories. Funny stories.
There's more of this improvement stuff, you know. There's not just that video.
Oh.
They've got
Really?
They've actually got a playlist.
Sit down and straighten it out.
Yeah, I'll turn that down until it actually. Have I got the playlist loaded, or is that just? Okay, I haven't. Yeah, they've got a series of like they have a series of like 20-second videos where they actually interview guys. Obviously, guys just acting. The compliment generator, the eye roll reaction, another emoji. It's better than the fucking eggplant one. The chivalry enhancer and the ghostbuster. These are all things that happen on Tinder. Or we can look at that. We can look at that Eminem fucking cringe fest if you like.
Wait, are you playing the video again? I just reopened the window and
I'm not playing anything yet. I'm looking for things to play.
Okay.
Do you want to carry on with Whitney Cummings, or do you want to move on to Eminem?
Let's move on.
Move on to Eminem. Do you want to look at Eminem's thing? Because I haven't actually watched this apart from you know what PJW and a few other people have done. Hang on, where are we? It's Eminem having a rant about Trump.
The storm right here.
Is this a douchebag, ladies? Is this what you would call a particular flavor of douchebag?
Wait, how was I gonna start this off? I forgot.
Oh. No, you didn't. You didn't, did you?
Oh yeah. That's an awfully hot coffee pot. Should I drop it on Donald Trump? Probably not, but that's all I got till I come up with a solid...
What?
With a solid what?
I didn't edit that out. Someone else did.
Got a plan and now I gotta hatch it like a damn Apache with a tomahawk. I'ma walk inside a mosque on Ramadan and say a prayer that every time talks...
Just do it! Just do it! That's what you look like now.
What did they censor? I don't get it.
I don't know. This is the... I think this is the most... Yeah, this has got 18 million views now. I figured I'd go with the most popular one. But yeah, that's the one that's edited out all the swears. Because you wouldn't want to be offensive, would you? Let's diss the president, but whatever you do, don't say any naughty words.
She gets a I'ma stop. But we better give Obama props.
You're making this all up, aren't you? Even that stop was...
Because what we got in office now's a kamikaze that'll probably cause a nuclear holocaust.
Why don't you like Asians?
Wouldn't happen.
Why have you got a problem with the Japanese?
Wouldn't happen, though. I mean, the nuclear... people seem to think the president can just press a button and set off nuclear bombs. It doesn't work like that. There's many different levels before that can happen, you know? Ah, Jesus.
Yeah, JFK was in charge of the fucking nukes, and they killed him for something much less serious than that now, didn't they?
While the drama pops and he waits for shit to quiet down, he'll just gas his plane up and fly around till the bombing stops.
Drama, man. Trump's awful because of the drama he causes. We would never do that.
Well, if Eminem is saying it, I'm believing it. I don't know.
If I can just say, right, that I love Eminem, right? I love rap music, so I love Eminem. The fact that it's sad to see him thinking that he's raging against the machine when in fact he's raging for the machine. That's very sad to witness. But see, if you go back to his raps against like Ja Rule, you know, see when he was in like a beef with Ja Rule, absolutely amazing. The guy is so talented. And I kind of forgive him for all this shit. I just think he's been brainwashed here, you know. And it's such a shame. It's such a shame that he still thinks he's a punk rocker fighting against the system, and he doesn't realise he is the system. It's so sad to see.
Well, it's sort of controversial because whoever the president is, to some degree, is the system. But I'm pretty sure if Hillary was the president right now, he wouldn't be doing a rap against Hillary Clinton.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. But then, as I say, I mean, the reason I say the president now is not the system is because Republicans, Democrats, the media, academia, society hates him. You know, it's trendy to hate this guy. So it's not exactly, you know, it's just, I don't know. It just seems like if Eminem came out and defended Donald Trump, that would be more controversial than attacking him.
Yeah, as far as the media is concerned. And can we all be agreed at this point? I think we are agreed with the SJWs at this point that media affects people, right?
Yes.
I mean,
I think
you can't have it both ways. Either the media affects people just as much, if not more, than politics affects people, or it doesn't. And if media affects people, then that's why fucking everyone's against Trump and pro the ghost of Hillary.
Well, I mean, Eminem comes out attacking Trump, and as a rapper, the way Eminem is, he shouldn't have the entire media on his side. That should be the complete. The entire media should be going, "Oh my God, Eminem, what did you just say?" But they're on his side, and that's not the way Eminem should be. But a part of this, which I thought was very strange, is when he attacked Donald Trump and said, "You know, you don't have the balls to come to me." Well, I'm sorry to inform you, Eminem, but Donald Trump is not a rapper. You know, he doesn't have beef with you. You know, he's not going to come out with an album. What the fuck? It's mental. But he's treating him like a rap rival, like it's a rap battle. And Donald Trump isn't a rapper, so it just seems silly.
Yeah.
To normal people, at least.
And I think as someone else pointed out, Donald Trump has been name dropped a lot in a lot of rap songs because he's so rich, and all you have to do is be rich and have swagger to be a hip hop icon.
Yes, it's something like 108 times before he ran for presidency that he was mentioned in a positive way in rap music. And as a fan of rap music, I've heard him mentioned quite a lot, and he's always mentioned as like a positive goal. They all want to be like Donald Trump. You know, but then as soon as he ran against the Democrats, he became a racist, obviously, you know, so now he's the bad guy.
It is a hell of a racket the Dems have had going on for a bloody long time now, isn't it?
Oh, God, aye. No, the kids' party is at Skeptorr's, Davey. It's not at mine.
Yeah.
What? I was phased out for a second. What did you say?
It's Davey's saying, kids' party, yours, good fella. And I'm just saying, no, it's at Skeptorr's. It's not in mine.
Yeah. I'm having a party for my kid here.
Do you live near a school, good fella? Is that why we always hear school bells in your videos?
Yeah.
I live right across the road from a school.
I did
right across the road from my son's school. So whenever the bell goes, that's the school right across the road. Sometimes when I'm making a video, you can hear the kids screaming in the background. You know. Right across the road from a school I stay, so I can't avoid it, you know. I also can't go near the window naked.
You'll be that old guy with a tank top and only wearing underpants, screaming at the kids. Go on! Get out of here!
Yeah, there's no kids here ever. Just
You'll be the old guy.
Just hideous audio. All right, should we carry on? Right. Get on with it.
So do you think his pause there, like it was a mistake? Do you think that was put on?
For the sake of suspense.
It looked like it was a strange one. It looked like it was like a drama, you know.
Of course. That's the entire point.
It's heightened. Tensions are rising. Trump, when it comes to giving a shit, you're stingy as I am. Except when it comes to having the balls to go against me, you hide them.
That's the part I was talking about. I mean, what do you mean go against you? Why would Donald Trump go against Eminem? What are you talking about? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Doesn't make an ounce of sense. But yet he says it anyway, as if he's battling with some rapper, you know?
It reminds me of that song you did, The Way I Am, where one of the lines is, radio won't even play my jam. I heard that song on the radio like 1,000 fucking times.
The nuts, like an empty asylum. Racism's the only thing he's fantastic for.
Oh, fuck off! Fuck right off!
I have asked from day one, can you give me an example of him being racist, and not one person has been able to provide an example. But he's just, again, he's drank the Kool-Aid, and he wants to fight the system, and he thinks Donald Trump is the system. So he's calling him a racist, even though he's clearly not a racist. Clearly he's not a racist, but it doesn't matter. Just the words just get used.
I mean,
it doesn't matter.
It's interchangeable with nationalist, and if Trump is more nationalist, then it means he's racist.
Yeah, they speak of the wall and of the Muslim ban, but neither of these things involve race. The wall is to keep another nation out, and the Muslim ban, which isn't a fucking Muslim ban, is, even if it was a Muslim ban, is to keep another religion out. Again, nothing to do with race.
Because that's how he gets his rocks off, and he's orange.
Does anybody else find it ironic that the swearing is bleeped out or blanked out? You know, I mean, this is supposed to be edgy, and yet there's no swearing. What's that about? That's bizarre.
Maybe on HBO you can hear the fucks.
Maybe, but not on BET. Why would BET not allow the swearing? I mean, this is BET.
So they can get it to #1 on trending.
All right, okay. I understand now. I get it now. Now I get it.
PG-13, yes.
Sorry, number one on curated content, I should have said.
Yeah, sick tan. That's why he wants us to disband, because he cannot withstand the fact we're not afraid of Trump. Walking on eggshells, I came to stomp. That's why he keeps screaming, drain the swamp, because he's in quicksand.
Oh, that doesn't even make any sense. A swamp and quicksand are two completely different things. Why would you bring them together? And Jesus,
because they rhyme.
Because they rhyme, yes.
It's like we take a step forwards, then backwards. But this is his form of distraction. Plus, he gets an enormous reaction when he attacks the NFL, so we focus on that instead of talking Puerto Rico with gun reform for Nevada. All these horrible...
Right, whose fault is that,
Who's focusing on the NFL?
Whoa, can I just say, what the fuck do you mean, Eminem, gun reform? Do you really want us to go through your library and talk about gun reform? Seriously? I don't think you should be going there,
tragedies, and he's bored and would rather cause a Twitter storm with the Packers.
So why are you getting so excited about this? If it's, meaningless, the NFL. Why are all the media getting so excited about him with the NFL?
Donald Trump does this little trick, right? With his right hand, he holds up to the media. Look at this tweet, and the media all surround his right hand, but with his left hand, shady shit. You know what I mean? That's what Donald Trump does. He does it all the time. He holds up, he jingles the keys, and the media draw attention to the keys that he's jingling, and they don't focus on his left hand, which is doing shady shit. They don't care about the left hand. They're too busy focused on his Twitter account, and that's how he plays them every single time. Every time he does it.
He learned that from the best, Benjamin Netanyahu.
Well, yeah, maybe, yes.
The Israeli Prime Minister, he does that all the time.
And
since 1996.
He's very like him because he also wants a wall, you know? So, I mean, he's very like him.
Our taxes, then who's gonna pay for his extravagant trips back and forth with his fam to his golf resorts and his mansions? Same shit that he tormented Hillary for, and he's...
How many mansions do you have, Em? Hey? Or do you still live in squalor with Kim?
And also another thing as well is that he attacks Trump for traveling a lot using the taxpayers' money, but Trump is not getting paid for the presidency. Hillary would have took that wage. Trump didn't. There's a big difference.
Yep.
Yeah, this is why, ironically, it might be safer to have a rich dude in the White House than someone who needs to build a nest egg, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All we've had so far, almost every time, it's a lawyer. We need another lawyer as president, another lawyer as president. We've finally got something different. We got a fucking businessman instead.
But isn't it normal for
the Clintons are extremely rich.
Yeah, they got rich as a result of their political.
And then Hillary wants to become the president, and they still want to get a lot of more money using their Clinton Foundation and shit.
But isn't it perfectly normal for a leader of a country to do a lot of traveling? I don't think we can criticize any leader for that. It's got to happen. Part of their job.
I'd rather the leader goes around playing golf than goes around apologizing to Middle Eastern countries. Frankly.
Well, you got them both.
Slandered, then does it more. From his endorsement of Bannon, support for the Klansmen, tiki torches in hand.
Obviously, he's not a Klansman. Bannon is not a Klansman. How many times does Donald Trump have to disavow the Klan and white supremacists and David Duke for it to actually register? How many times?
And even Bannon said he's not a part of them and called them idiots.
But even, I mean, the KKK are like, I mean, seriously, there are like 5,000 people in America that are in the KKK. I don't think it's anything worth concerning yourself about, you know? They're not a concern.
Unlike Hollywood, are you going to get Hillary to say, oh yeah, I didn't have anything to do with Harvey Weinstein? Hey, if Hillary was president, would you be doing a rap about how Hillary knocked around with Harvey Weinstein? I doubt it.
Regarding the Harvey Weinstein thing, didn't we all already know that the casting couch was a thing? We all knew that. Why are we all surprised at this?
Maybe they know people are cottoning on to how corrupt Hollywood is, and they think, right, someone needs to fall on the sword here.
Maybe.
Because Weinstein's not the only one. He can't be the only one. You know
if he falls on the sword, there is still going to be a casting couch. We all know that it exists. We all know this, you know. So why are we all surprised? That's what I'm surprised about. That people are surprised.
Yeah, and like I've said, this is probably why Hollywood has such a penchant for fucking boys. Because if you fuck women or girls, then eventually you're gonna get screwed. Just stick to fucking the boys, and no one will ever care.
That's true. That is very true. Sadly.
Patriarchy.
For the soldier that's black and comes home from Iraq and is still told to go back to Africa, forking a dagger in this racist 94-year-old grandpa who keeps ignoring our past historical deplorable factors. Now if you're a black athlete, you're a spoiled little brat for trying to use your platform or your stature to try to give those a voice who don't have one. He says you're spitting in the face.
I have to banana at some point. So banana.
I mean, I just regarding what he's saying there, of course it would be horrible for a black soldier to go and fight for the country, to come back and then be told to go back to Africa. But seriously, how often is this happening? I don't think I've ever heard anybody suggest that somebody go back to Africa. How common is this? It's not common enough.
He's saying that with relations to the KKK. That's his point.
No, but I mean, it's not common enough to be the president's problem. You know, how can this be the president's problem? He can't focus on every little minuscule group that hates black people. Who cares? They're very small. They're not a danger. Exaggerated. That's what this is. And as Zonte says there, the casting couch isn't going away because one of its users is removed. So true. Has everybody disappeared? Am I on here myself?
No, I'm here. Mike?
Mike? I think the doctor went away to the toilet or something, maybe. He's probably having a piss. I wonder if he's listening. Do you think he's listening while he's having a piss?
I think he cannot control his hours.
Do you think we can put him off his piss by...
I wonder if he can still hear us, if he uses earphones or not. Mike?
No, I know I pull my earphones out when I go to the toilet so that I can still hear, but I can't speak.
Back.
So I wonder if he does this.
Oh, he's back.
Did we put you off your piss? Did you hear us?
No, you're on headphones, so I can't hear shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
we're wondering if you are unable to control your hours.
My ass is fine. It's my dick that's fucked.
I take it that bananas the word that splits up the video so that you don't get a copyright strike. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's our copyright safe word.
Are you on the Honey Badgers on Monday, Mike?
Yes, I am. Yes, Brian asked me if I'd like to join it.
I've been invited on Monday night. So...
Yeah, we're bringing Dankula on as well, so you can. You can
that
compare stories.
That should be interesting. I do think his is not worse, but I think he's in more trouble because his is a video, so he can't deny that it was him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you went to jail for a couple of days, but jail's different from prison. He could actually go to prison for this.
That's true, yeah.
So could I.
Technically.
It's easier to get killed in prison than in jail, isn't it? Considerably easier.
Yes. Yeah, I was in a cell by myself, so but I could still get a court date and I could still technically go to prison, but I don't think I will. But it could still happen. But I think the big difference is that mine was a post that nobody could prove was made by me, whereas his was a video where he's shown his face, and he can't deny it. So I think that's a big difference.
So it's a good thing you knew all this ahead of time. That you didn't just admit that it was you, because he's not just doing this. He's not just doing this to fucking escape responsibility for the joke. He's doing it to avoid the fucking bullshit that lands you in prison.
Exactly.
And because it for all we know, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. You can't prove anything. I didn't do nothing.
Well, that's when I was speaking to the lawyer. That's exactly what he said to me. He said, if two guys commit a crime in that corner, we're witnesses. But if somebody posts something on the internet and there's no witnesses, the police can't prove who did the post. He says, so no comment and let them make the case. If they don't have anything, so let them prove it. That's what he said to me, and I think he was quite right.
Yeah. This does throw a bit of a wild card into the you've got to follow the law thing, because this is often the argument against why so many black people commit crimes. So I say, well, they're breaking the law. You can't just break the law if it's the law. But now this is getting complicated. Sometimes the law is very fucking wrong.
Well, I have always said, I've been one of those people. I'm guilty of that. I've always said, just don't break the law. But now I'm thinking, Jesus, you don't even need to break the law for the police to hassle you, But I still think that when it comes to black people, not all of it is like my situation. A lot of them could avoid it by not breaking the law. But that's what I think.
Yeah, I don't know if they've been cracking down on black people like they say they are, but they're definitely cracking down on men of all colours. It happen to not be many black men in Glasgow,
Yeah, true.
Although they might accidentally end up arresting a woman like they did with the £10 note debacle. They arrested a couple of people over the tweets that got sent to whatever her name was about the £10 note thing.
Criado Perez or something like that. Her name was
something like that, yeah. And one of the people who they decided to single out as an example turned out to be a woman.
That's true. And her posts were far worse than the man. She actually got more time in prison than the man did because her posts were worse. So it just shows you, you know.
So
but then they were genuine threats of rape and violence, though. You know, so there's you can understand why the law's involved, because they were genuinely saying that I'm going to track you down and rape you or kill you, and that's, you know, that's quite serious, you know. I mean, if I went on Twitter right now and said I'm going to kill Nicola Sturgeon, I wouldn't be surprised if the police
God,
turned
you've
up
done it now.
I know, I've said it now. That, but somebody will take that little audio and post that, you know. That'll be enough.
All right, should we carry on?
Sure.
It's a vet who fought for us, you bastards! Unless you're a POW who's tortured and battered because to him you're zeros because he don't like his war heroes captured.
Oh, come on. That was obviously just a dig at John McCain. It was just a joke. He's not saying he doesn't like his POWs captured. He was just joking about John McCain to give a dig at him. I mean, come on. You know what Donald Trump's like? This is unreal, man.
He's not the first one to make this joke.
No, he's not. But Donald Trump's the kind of guy that he doesn't have a filter. And that's why he was elected. People like that about him. You know, he doesn't have that political filter where he has to say the most correct thing at all times. So people like that. And yes, it was horrible to say, you know, he got captured, therefore he's useless or whatever. But still, it was just a joke. Jesus, Eminem. I mean, I still forgive Eminem for this because he's so talented. He's so great that he's done so much good that I can forgive him being brainwashed here.
Like, everyone admires, like, POWs and shit until you ask an actual sort of army person, and then they go, yeah, my solution is I just don't get captured. It's the same with the with the Sully thing, that pilot who landed that plane in the Hudson River. Like, everyone admires Sully until you ask an actual pilot, and then they say, yeah, what I do is I don't fly into birds. Which isn't quite fair, but it's still funny.
That's not disrespecting the military. This is for Colin. Ball up a fist.
Colin?
God.
David Cullen?
Colin Powell?
I don't know much about American football, but from what I've heard, Colin Kaepernick is not actually even a very good footballer.
Oh, Kaepernick. Okay.
No, Colin Kaepernick. By the way, can I just ask you guys, do you think that this was freestyle, or do you think it was scripted?
I think it was scripted.
Scripted.
You think so? You think it was scripted? Because
Yeah,
I mean, Eminem is good with freestyle, but I'm still deciding whether
you're not doing a video like this unscripted. This is not a video that you're doing unscripted.
I think the pauses are him trying to remember his lyrics.
Right. Okay. I'm still trying to decide on that because I'm just not sure.
I want to. I don't agree with Eminem. I think he's an idiot, and I challenge him to a coding match.
Alarm.
That's me. Okay, I think it's just a test.
It means that it means that you need to open a new honey jack.
I'm gonna turn my mic down.
What is that?
What the hell is that?
That's my fire alarm. And it's
maybe there's fire in your house.
It could be. It could just be a test.
It usually
is.
You
mean it's like from the building?
Yeah.
Or
there we go. Okay, it was just a test.
A test. So you're not supposed to run downstairs and they count the people.
No.
And see. No. Okay, it's not a drill. Okay.
No one's gonna die tonight, folks. It's fine. Apart from the millions around the world who will.
But not in your building.
Not in my building.
Probably.
That's all that matters.
All right, let's carry on with Mr. Mathers.
And keep that shit bald, like Donald the bitch. He's gonna get rid of all immigrants.
Whoa, go back. Look at when he did that. Rebel. That thing.
Bitch. He's gonna get rid of all immigrants.
Okay, so he was doing. Okay.
It's like a southern racist accent because everybody
that
from the
was
south.
pretty racist, yeah.
Everybody from the south is racist. But can I just point out that all those black people in the back, and Eminem isn't letting them speak, and also isn't Eminem guilty of cultural appropriation? Just saying. Just putting it out there.
I mean, he just pissed off like 30%, 40% of Americans. Good job. Good job.
But he's rich now, so he doesn't care.
Yeah, but yeah, let's go on.
He's gonna build that thing up taller than this. Well, if he does build it, I hope it's rock solid with bricks. Cause like him in politics, I'm using all of his tricks. Cause I'm throwing that piece of shit against the wall till it stinks.
What wall?
The Mexican wall. But if the wall stinks, that will deter more Mexicans from coming into the US if the wall stinks. That's actually helping Trump.
I'm just thinking of the amount of Mexicans thinking, let's go over to America, and then they hear this rhyme and go, nah, there's full of people like that. Let's forget it. Let's just stay here, rather than go to America full of people like Eminem.
And any fan of mine who's a supporter of his,
big mistake.
I'm drawing in the sand a line. You're either for or against.
Oh,
and if you can't,
big mistake.
There we go.
Biggest mistake of his career is to say that line there.
The Bush line.
To draw the line in the sand and say, if you're a fan of Donald Trump, you're not a fan of mine. Biggest mistake of his career. Is he aware that more than half the country voted for Donald Trump? Is he aware of this?
Is he aware that he just pulled the Bush? Either you're with us or against us.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, he did. Yes.
Good job.
Can't decide who you like more in your split on who you should stand beside. I'll do it for you with this. You. The rest of America, stand up.
What an idiot.
We love our military and we love our country, but we hate Trump.
You do not love your military. Stop lying. You don't love the military.
Oh, itchy.
Let's split into two groups and fight. That doesn't sound like a civil war at all.
And I recall he did use the word deplorable at some point. They can't help themselves. Everyone who disagrees with me is deplorable. It lost an election, but it won't lose me anything.
So he made fun of half of the population of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Then he told them to fuck off and drew a line in the sand, said to people, either you're with us or against us. Right? Good plan, Eminem. Good plan. Yeah. What a fucking idiot.
Well, he's already a multi-millionaire. I guess he's just trying to stay relevant.
Yeah, in the wrong way, I guess. But maybe that will, a lot of Democrats will buy his records now.
I doubt it. I mean, the people in the rap game have always attacked Republicans. They've always attacked Reagan and Bush. I remember Too Short. He had a rhyme where he said that Nancy Reagan was sucking his dick. It's been going back since that long. They've always done this, but this particular time with this particular president, they've got it all wrong. He's not really a Republican. He just happens to be in the Republican Party, but they hate him. The Democrats hate him. Everybody hates him, apparently. So they're not actually going against the system this time.
Yeah.
And these are the same people who have constantly looked up to Donald Trump. I mean, throughout the rap game since the 80s, they have looked up to Donald Trump. And now all of a sudden, Donald Trump's the bad guy. And it's just hard to believe. You can't really take them seriously because he's, as I said before, he is not raging against the machine. He is raging for the machine. And there's a big difference.
For a different machine.
Yeah. Yes, there's a Big difference.
It's
Big
Robot
difference.
Wars, and he's chosen his robot.
Rage Against the Other Machine.
If you're a punk rocker like Eminem is now these days, if you're a punk rocker, the media should not be on your side. When the media is on your side, you are no longer against the system. It's that simple.
Yep.
Guys, I'll have to finish quickly because I have to do some maintenance.
It's a good time to finish. We've been going for 2 hours. We've missed the 2049 window, so
next time.
We haven't got maximum comedy, but I think we did well.
Well, not only was it fun, it was great to finally do it on Random Cam's channel.
Yeah, all right, shut up.
I've never done it before.
This is a democracy. Who's in favor of doing it on Randomer Cam's channel all the time? Raise your hand.
Is raising a hand an option in the chat? Raise your hand, chat. Oh, you don't have hands. You just have
Don't
text.
put your hand up because the Scottish police will think it's a Nazi salute and then they'll come to your door. So don't bother.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Instead of raising your hand, just pull out your cock or something. No, but seriously, you see how many people are watching?
Yeah,
490.
It was 500 at one point. Yeah.
Not bad. Hey, that's quite good. That's good numbers, man. For a live stream, that's really good. How much do the honey badgers usually get for a live stream?
It's rarely more than a couple of hundred. Yeah, I don't do this very often. I think is the thing.
You must be tempted now. I mean, 500.
And we are.
The next time you're going to have to put that super chat on if you're getting this many views.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly.
And we are a bit rusty. We haven't done this for like a year now, so.
No, that's
yeah.
true.
Maybe next time we'll get a guest. Oh, I forgot to get a guest.
Oh,
that's something
yeah,
we normally do, isn't it?
Yep.
I vote vernaculus.
Yes. Let's get
I vote for anyone.
Especially someone that disagrees with us. That's the best
Can you
guest.
bring in queer kid stuff?
As I recall, the one time we got someone in on the Accent Overlords who didn't agree with us, it was
Mr. Tyler.
It was
Tyler. That was
Jesus fun,
Christ.
wasn't it? I still haven't listened to that. You know, I've listened to most of the Accent Overlords episodes at least once just to see how it went. Still haven't listened to that. I refuse to listen to that. I don't want to hear myself when I'm like that.
Okay. That would be a good idea. Get a good.
But it's still there for anyone who wants to enjoy it.
Yeah. We love you, people. Stay strong. Raise your fist in the air.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the views, everyone. Thanks for watching.
And where's the Muslim with a truck when you need one? Hashtag Pride Parade. All right, I'll
Who
take
has
this out
taken
now.
over Randomer Cam's house and spoke for his name? In his name.
All right, I'm gonna stop.